Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As I was scrolling down to see what's important and what's not important, and try to learn to enhance my knowledge, my view, and all that, my worldview, I stumbled over this article and I started laughing. And I thought it would be a very good article that I can make a video on, so maybe you can laugh. And well, unfortunately, it's a sad story, but it's so ridiculous that it's like with half of your face you laugh, with the other one you cry. So let's see what's going on here. This is supposed to be a serious article. This article comes from the Telegraph. I'm trying to find and use, articles from outlets that are supposedly, respected. That people will say, well, if the Telegraph said so, then it must be true. But let's say if I have Al Mayadeen, an Arab outlet, I don't know, man, that's shady. BBC, oh my God, yes. So, what's the title here? America won't defend Europe, so Britain has to. When I read this, I was like rolling down on the floor, laughing. Maybe you don't understand what's so funny about it, but probably if I read you another article here, you'll understand. I hope you do understand why this is funny and ridiculous and sad in the same time. Ridiculous is, first, Britain has no power to defend anybody, including itself. And I can hear you now say, ooh, oh, boo, Emil, what the hell is that? Well, if you say that, it means you are informed. Sorry, don't go yet, because I have an article that I will support my claims. I always try to do that. So let's go to the other article that I think will help you understand. Now, this is from the 10th of February. UK armed forces would only last 5 days in war. Senior MP, a senior UK member of parliament, says his country's military would only last for 5 days in the case of war. So it was not me. I understand these are Al Mayadeen, but they cite a UK senior MP. So here we have something here. What's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? It's going to happen you're going to pay more money for weapons, and the military-industrial complex will increase its power. So let's see, what is this MP bubbling around? The British Armed Forces would only last about 5 days, end quote, in a war if one were to break out, a senior Tory MP claimed on Friday. All right, a Tory MP. So the British Armed Forces would only last about 5 days in a war if one were to break out, a senior Tory MP claimed on Friday, in light of mounting pressure on the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Jeremy Hunt, to increase the country's defense spending in next month's budget. More money to the military, basically. High inflation rates and the cost of replacing equipment sent to Ukraine had created and I'm quoting, a really grim picture and led to high depleted military supplies, Conservative chair of the Commons Defense Committee, Tobiah Ellwood, told the Financial Times. So remember, Britain gave just like this amount of military equipment to Ukraine. Didn't give airplane, didn't give tanks, didn't give anything yet. Like whatever. And this Tory, or whatever, is saying on the 10th, today is the 12th, said that you guys can last 5 days. How long have the Russians lost so far? A year. And when I hear UK claiming, for instance, and I'm not here to bash it, but I'm going to use a trait of a narcissistic trait, which is the sense of grandiosity. You're some important. If you are only able to resist 5 days in a war, you're not that good. And to think that you will defend Europe, which, if you look at it, I think can smash you by population, number, resources, military, however you want to take it, this is a kind of like crazy thought. You're delusional. This guy's delusional. So someone must be lying. Otherwise, it's paranoia or, as I said, narcissism here. So, all right, I like to provide evidence, right? So let's go back to this article, all right, where we have here that You wouldn't lost you. The Great Britain, UK, and then we have this one. Because America won't defend Europe, Britain has to. Okay, I know this one. I said, okay, let me go with this one. This is from the Psychology Today. I think it's a good, it's the first options that came to my browser when I said, traits, narcissistic traits. This is what came. The 13 traits of a narcissist. Da-da-da-da. All right. And what's the first one here again? The first one, grandiose sense of self-importance. Now, it is true that we all have that to a certain extent. And I know that there are about 7 actually, and you have to, I think, have to feel 4 out of 7 at least to a certain extent to be considered narcissistic. You can just have 1 and say, okay, he is narcissistic. UK is a narcissistic country, government, crazy. All right, but hey, let's go down here and see again what are the traits. But it's very interesting because the first one is grandiose sense of self-importance. This is the belief that your contribution and presence are essential to the happiness, success, and equilibrium of other people and any enterprises of relationships. The project, I'm quoting, would not have tanked if I hadn't been on the team. If it weren't for me, who knows where my spouse would have ended up. What's this again? America won't defend, so Britain has to. Do you think really you're so powerful? That's the first one here. Interesting, I went to another one, but this one, because this comes from Mayo Clinic, it doesn't upload or download or whatever. So because we have capitalism, I have options, so I went to another one. So they lost my business. I don't think they care because they have a monopoly. And Mayo Clinic is the biggest clinic in heart surgeries and everything else. And go on its site, bullshit, 0. Yeah, that's why. So I hope I don't end up there. So I'm going to this one, which comes from what? The Narcissistic Life. It was the third option down, okay, the line. And what's the first one? 1, feels grandiose and self-important, exaggerates achievements and talents to the point of lying, demands to be recognized as superior without commensurate achievements. Now, let's go to number 2, is obsessed with fantasies of unlimited success. You're going to defend Europe, huh? Britain's going to defend Europe. All right. Fame, fearsome power, and omnipotence. All right. Unequal brilliance. You are fantastic, okay? Bodily beauty or sexual performance or ideal, everlasting, all-conquering love or passion. So these are a few on this one, and they, I think, want something from me that I don't want to give them, which is money. All right, requires excessive admiration. I don't know about that one. Feels entitled. No. Demands automatic and full compliance with his or her expectations. Will place sanctions on you if you don't do what I tell you. You know what I mean? Is interpersonally exploitative. Devoid of empathy. I don't know about that. Constantly envious of others. I don't know. Arrogant. Oh, no. I don't know. Nah. Let's go to the first article here. Grandiose preoccupation with fantasies, believes that he or she is special and unique and can only be understood by or should associate with other special or high status people or institutions, like Great Britain can be only understood by the United States of America. Needs to excessive admiration. No. Sense of entitlement. No, we're special. We're the good ones. We're on the right side of history. And you know how true that is. Interpersonally exploitative behavior. Lack of empathy, I don't know about that. Envy of others, believes and others are envious on him or her. Yeah, they hate our values. Remember that? They hate our freedoms. Remember that one? Oh, they hate. I'm just bringing the United States in there too. Demonstration of arrogant and naughty behaviors or attitude. Arrogant. Oh my God. So these are the traits. Now, as I said, this must be only, as I said, I knew when I learned about this, I studied about these things, there were 7, and I think you have to check mark at least, as I said, 4 out of 7 in order to consider yourself on the path. or be on the spectrum. Let's put it that way. So I think I mentioned over there 10 in the first article, and then the other one was I stopped because they asked for money, and for that I can get information for free. That's outrageous. These guys again, are they crazy? Are they how do you call it, narcissistic? They think are they most important. I can get the same information from 1,000 other sources. Why do you ask money for? And the other ones with Mayo, beep, they're dead over there. Don't go to Mayo Clinic. It seems like it doesn't even open its own little site. And believe me, I don't have a bad browser or anything bad here. It should open to anything if you're the powerhouse of the US medicine. Blah, 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 blah. But hey, capitalism allows you to pick and choose and find and pick your options. That's why I mentioned that article from that other page than Mayo. All right, but somehow we have only 2 political parties here in the United States that matter, so we don't like that much diversity, but we like in everything else. So what do you think? Can United States, defend Europe? So if the United States will not, then Britain has to, like Europe is a kind of like that kind of child, if you know what I mean, and someone needs to defend it because it's I can't defend myself. I'm just France, and I'm just Germany, I'm just Italy, and I don't have anything else. But hey, can you help me, Britain? But you would last only 4 days or 5 days if a war break out. Clowns. The problem is clinical clownship, if you know what I mean. Maybe we can just look over this article a little bit, the first article with the paranoia, because this paranoia comes from Eldridge Colby, this guy, this intellectual right here, from 11th of Feb. Oh, here the clowns. Look around. This is the British Prime Minister. And this is the Ukrainian president. Look at them. Look at them. Yeah, he is British, and yeah, he is Ukrainian. Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, they want money. Oops, Emily's out. I'm out because these guys really think they give me such an important piece of news. I don't need, the title was good enough for me. Why? Because I know how these guys are functioning. Could be different a little bit, but the chances are maybe 1 in 3,000. So anyway, the point is, that guy makes the point in his title, headline, that because somehow America has to help the third relative, which is actually the, how do you call it, the subordinate Europe, then the other one, powerhouse, Great Britain, somehow has to defend Europe from the evil Russians. The Russians have been fighting for a year with all of them. Not with Ukraine, with all of them. And they were pushing whatever. It was not only Great Britain, United States, the Netherlands, and all of them, Germany, standing over there. So if Russia was fighting these guys for a year, I'm not going to go to the motives, good or bad. I'm just taking it as technical as possible. If this guy can fight you guys, not one, you guys for a year, good or bad? Oh, it's an invasion, unprovoked, enough with bullshit. So, imagine that if you do that for a year, and these guys could only do it 4 days. What do you think if you have, let's say, Bayern Munich playing, let's say, Liverpool? Or let's say Spartak Moscow playing with Liverpool. I know you like Liverpool. I like Salah. I like those guys, no problem. Since Mane left from Liverpool, it's kind of going down. But hey, what do you want? And Manchester United, since great Ronaldo kicked the whatever door out and went to Al Hilal or wherever he went. It went as it went. So imagine these guys. Let's say the Russians would have fought the Brits in a conventional war, but still they have big mouths. What do you think if Russia would have fought just a Poland or one-on-one? He would have smashed all these guys on one-on-one. The problem, courage is always in group, and how's that? Cowardness is always alone, right? No, it's vice versa. When people gang on you, they're cowards, all right? I'm not saying, oh, Russia, as I said, I don't look at the virtue thing, who's better here. This is a philosophical conversation. And you have to agree with that because that's what it is. When you need other people to fight someone, it means you're weak. And that's only one guy over there, that means you're weak. You're afraid. You're a coward. So you need more. That's a fact. I've been involved in these kind of situations, both sides. So I can, at least from my perspective, as stupid as it might sound, it's true. And I don't have to only say that. I think that could be a truism. So in this case, that guy, and again, United States has to defend. And then another point, Europe is under attack. Europe is under attack, not Ukraine, Europe. So from Russia attacked Europe, Europe is a third, needs necessary, United States must says over there, must defend Europe, and if it will not, then these guys are gonna go and has to come in, mommy, because daddy doesn't want to come and help the baby. They want to change a diaper. What is this? This is, it's not even below 86. I will drop it to below 80, below 35 IQ level of the message and the audience that would vibrate the message. Yeah, man. Yeah, we have to do the. I'm speaking like I'm trying to. Anyway, we have to go and fight those evil Russians because the whatever the Americans do will not. Yeah, man. We don't want to fight for them. Yeah. If those guys would not be around, United States and Britain, I guarantee you that these guys would get along differently. As North Korea and South Korea, as North Vietnam, South Vietnam was the whole thing, a lot of things will be different. If you take one good common denominator, which is United States, take it out and you're going to see how the countries will speak differently. We'll start to negotiate, we'll discuss it differently. Like you have Canada. Can you hear what big mouth Canada has? What, 40 million people? Big country with 40 million people, out of which, 10 million are newly immigrated guys? And they have a lot of love for the country because they have it. I don't know, somehow they have it. Can you be so deluded about it? I'm just giving you Canada. Do you think that Poland would not speak differently? The Baltic states? I'm not saying they should not, I don't mean they should be like, okay, Russia, do whatever you want to us. Not that. But put yourself, you're a big guy and these are the little guys. And then you have another big guy over there. I told you that example with that movie, The Lion King, the little cartoon with a Scar, the bad lion, which I liked, and then the Simba, the good lion, and around the bad lion were the hyenas, and they were mouthy and strong when Scar was around. You know, they were challenging Simba. When Scar was not around, the hyenas were what they were. The same thing happens in real life. In gangs, in school, in institutions, at work, in politics, the same. When you got a big back, someone to back you up, you're a big mouth. Look at Kirby. Look at what's his name, Sullivan, Jake Sullivan. Look at these guys, how tough they are. And there are some. Anyway, go and defend Europe for about 5 days. Because the Tards cannot defend themselves like they have to because they're attacked. That's how the story goes. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.